Did you know that every generation, without exception, believes the one that follows is somehow worse off? Quite the paradox, isn't it? This intriguing phenomenon, known as the generational perception paradox, has been witnessed throughout the annals of human history. Time and again, older generations perceive their successors as less capable or somehow deficient, mirroring the very same sentiments their parents held about them. This paradox, age-old as humanity itself, is a fascinating study in perception and bias. To illustrate this point, we delve into the annals of history. Let's journey back to the Industrial Revolution, the time of steam engines and mechanized looms. The older generation, used to manual labor and personal craftsmanship, saw their offspring as lazy, too reliant on these newfangled machines. They feared the loss of traditional skills and values. But in reality, the younger generation was simply adapting to a changing world, using technology to improve efficiency and productivity. Fast forward to the 1960s, a decade of cultural and societal revolution. The older generation was horrified by the younger one's rebellious spirit, their music, their fashion, their protests. They saw a generation losing its way, straying from the path of respectability and order. But again, this younger generation was merely pushing boundaries, championing change, and seeking a more equitable society. Now let's consider the present day. The older generations often throw a critical eye at millennials and Gen Z, accusing them of being too engrossed in their devices, too dependent on technology, and lacking a solid work ethic. Yet again, we see a younger generation adapting to their times, using technology as a tool for communication, education, and innovation. As we can see, this pattern, this clash of generations, has been a constant throughout history. Now, what if we told you that the younger generation is not as bad as you perceive them to be? It's time to shift our perception. Let's take a moment to consider the positive attributes of the younger generation. They're adaptable, flexible, and resilient. They've grown up in a rapidly changing world and have learned how to navigate it with grace and tenacity. Additionally, their technological proficiency is unparalleled. They're digital natives who can leverage technology to solve problems, create and communicate in ways that were unimaginable just a few decades ago. Moreover, they bring a fresh perspective to social issues. Their progressive views on equality, sustainability, and human rights are helping to shape a more inclusive and compassionate world. But remember, understanding and communication are keys to bridging the generational gap. It's through these channels that we can break the cycle of misunderstanding. So, before casting a stone at the younger generation, remember the stones that were once thrown at you. As history shows us, they may not be as bad as you perceive them to be.